Good morning. Welcome back. We missed a week, Ange.
We did,
but we're back now.
Yes, we are.
And we got a very special guest. We've
Very
been so excited.
Hi.
Hello. And episode 33 as well. Karen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Karen, also known as Little Bird. I'm a medium and a psychic counsellor. Morning. Blushing furiously at the moment because I'm on this camera.
You're on this, but don't worry.
It'll go in
it will go.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna probably turn towards you just so we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not so in face. When you're not looking at the screen, but you're holding conversation is more relaxed.
I'm gonna go make a cup of tea.
Oh,
No, I'm not.
No,
So you're disappearing.
I just leave you to it. That's my bit done, Karen.
So I wonder who is watching. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi, gang. Love that. Delighted to be able to join you. Hi, Claire. Brilliant. So we have beautiful souls tuning in with us. That's amazing.
Brilliant.
So this is really exciting. I'm really
So
excited.
you probably get asked a lot of the same questions, Karen. Like when did you realize like this gift that you have?
When I realized I was a little bit older, but I've had it since I was a child.
Yeah.
So basically right from birth, which all children do.
Yeah.
But with me, it didn't go away.
Yeah.
So it just stayed.
Yeah.
So right from a kid, I was talking to spirit on gravestones, sat on them. I would talk to spirit. I would go to places where spirit were thinking they were people the same as we are, and not realizing. And it just went on and on and on with me. So it never shut down until I got married and I shut it down.
Right. And then obviously
for a little while. Just a little while. And then it came back again.
And have you worked on other stuff that obviously because you do the Theta Healing? So is it when you kind of you opened it back up again? Is it you took it in a different angle?
When because even though I say I shut it down, I was always getting messages. So I didn't work with it as much, but I was always knowing when something was going to happen, or feelings of not doing something and not going on a road at a certain time, that sort of thing. Knowing where accidents had happened, all this sort of thing. The healing came at a later date. So I learned the healing at a later date. I do believe that everybody has the ability to heal and to work with spirit. So what I did was waited until I found a module on healing that suited me. And then I went and learned about that, which is the Theta Healing. But that was at a much later date.
No, it's interesting because I feel like, because me and Ange did the workshop. I can't remember. I think it was October, right?
It was that time.
And for me, that's the first time I've done something. I had a reading with you just over a year ago. Recommended by loads and loads of people. Nina Jenkins and my cousin had been as well a couple of times to see you. And it was interesting because what you said to my cousin was the same. So you said the same thing about our grandmother, really. It was just interesting. I was talking to her about it afterwards. But it just, for me, it's I think it's something I'd always wanted to do, and it the right time came. But you really made me feel good. Good. And the course, oh my God, that was amazing. That was amazing. I feel like that unlocked something within me, and my hands just feel charged up quite quite really bizarre feeling.
I believe that the courses, the workshops are really, because you reach a wide circle of people, and it's allowing people, or encouraging people, not allowing them, encouraging them to go inward and to actually understand about themselves as well, and how you can connect with source, and how you can connect on a level of not just the earthly plane. So I love doing the workshops. I love all of it. So it's nice when you get people that feel that it's benefited them and helped them.
It was a real nice group.
It was really lovely group.
Yeah,
Yes.
there was a couple of people I just thought, oh, I know you.
Yeah.
I was sure someone was my sister once. I was adamant of it.
Yes, yeah.
It was just so bizarre.
It's a knowing, and people tend to in the workshops, in the teaching, all of those sort of things. People generally all gel together. So you're not going to know that before they come, but you find that the energies all work well together.
Yeah.
So it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's like you make new friends as well.
It was, yeah. It was. Yeah, definitely.
New but old.
Yeah, no, it did feel like that. Yeah.
Definitely.
That lady came running over. It's like, I just want to hug you.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like a dog. It's like from a dog. It was nice.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of questions here.
Yes, we have a question. Shall we bring a question?
Yeah.
Right. So that's from Andrea. Does spirit explain why some people remember the access to their realm and some do not?
Sorry, I didn't. Oh, here. Does spirit explain why some people remember the access to their realm and some do not? The reason that some do not is because they're probably new souls. So they won't be able to explain it. Whereas older souls would be able to. And that makes it, I think the older souls are here to encourage and to help the younger souls. So some people also don't come from the same earth plane. So they come from a different realm. So those also don't often have the access to this realm, but they're supposed to be here to help human beings to move through their lifetime.
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So you get them from all different realms coming in as well.
That is brilliant. I didn't know. I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah, it does.
It does make sense. Massively.
I suppose that's why you seen what you seen on your past life regression, right?
Although I definitely, have some earthy experience here. But
well,
what
yeah,
I
you
did
live on
see,
Earth, Angg, so
I know. I know. But do you remember when I said
I like to wind her up every now and then, Karen?
Yeah.
And just still be trying to talk, and I'll just keep interrupting.
You keep winding.
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay, I forgive you.
There are many star seeds that have come in, and they are from a different realm.
Yeah.
So if you went through all the old souls, so you've got the old souls, you've got the new souls, you've got the souls that have been here maybe once, twice. You've got souls that step in, step out. So if there's real serious accidents or where you've got life and death experience, sometimes you get a new soul that is called a walk-in that will come in. So the soul that your soul has done its bit, so you can sometimes get a walk-in. So the depth of everything, you can go right into so much stuff about soul journeys, past lives. There's so much connected to the work.
Yeah. And did you feel like when you not so much switched off, but got back into it, do you feel that it opens up more and more? You became more connected? Or
I mean, I think as a child you are highly connected.
Yeah, I feel like my youngest son is.
Yeah. So as children, there is no difference between looking at a living person and a soul. Yeah. So when you see babies that smile beside you, it's because they can see your energy, they can see your aura, and they can also see angels, spirits all around. So when you're first born, everything's working. So your brain is really, really intense, and you can see. As children get a little bit older, they still see. Often at the age of 7, it's around that age they may switch it because they start getting into life. Yeah. But children are very, very connected. I found that it didn't really disappear at all with me. It's just that I, wanted to not have it for a little while. Yeah. So I'd got young children. I wanted to be, for want of a better word, although I don't think I've ever been normal, but that's how I classed it. And then I became seriously ill. And that after that, because I had a near-death experience, that's when it came in again, and it kicked in full force. Right. And I knew I had to do something with it then. Yeah.
So it's a bit like your calling, like your aha moment, maybe. Yeah.
So I'm curious because obviously you were, well, like you said, everybody's born with this gift and then they just switch it off. You didn't. But what for those who switched it off and now they would like to open it up again?
They can. Everybody can connect to spiritual realms. I personally believe that everybody can be mentored, can sit and understand it, can open up to the spiritual realms. But it's also a process that needs to be done, I personally believe, with an awful lot of respect and an understanding of how it works on energy levels and how protection is important, respect, trust, all those things. So it's quite a lot goes on with it. But I believe everybody's capable. I don't think there's anybody around that isn't capable of doing it. It's just that a lot of people, you know, understandably so, don't want to. So it's, if somebody wants to start it or wants to learn about it, then I believe they can.
No, brilliant. Guys, if you're watching, even if it's on a rerun, drop any questions in. Oh, here we go. Well done. Thanks, Andrea. You read my mind. Any advice on how to get the access to this? Sorry, let me start again. Any advice in how to get the access to spirit and ideas on protection?
Okay, so when you're getting access to spirit, the best thing to do is to actually sit, make sure that you're somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed. It's always interesting to work opening and closing chakras. Now, those are energy points in your body. Everybody's got them. Everything is energy. So it's worth doing a little bit of research on how to open and close your chakra points. Just one thing here, when you're opening up, make sure you bring the light down and the earth up. So you're connected to the spiritual realms, but you're also earthed. And when you've finished working or connecting to spirit, you then make sure that the light goes down to the earth goes up to the sky, and you close your chakras. Because if you go out and about with your chakras open, you are going to invite in every bit of energy on the living and also energy on the spiritual realms. So learning how to do that bit is really important. You then ask spirit to come forward. Before you ask them, you put your protection in place. So I would always ask Archangel Michael, or Michael, who is the angel of protection, to come forward. I would ask for a bubble of light to be put around me. I would ask to be protected from all negative and toxic energies. That's how your protection is done.
Well, that's answered my next question, really.
Protection's really important. There's a lot of ways of doing it. There's, you know, so many different ways, but the bubble is the most used way by people. Also, seeing a cloak covering you from top to bottom, so it covers your head. Purple is the normal color, so it comes right the way down. That's protection. You can do fishing nets, silver and gold, see them over you. It's always every bit of protection is important, whichever way you do it.
Yeah, sure. No, it's interesting. So apparently years, so where did I go? I went for, was it body code or emotional code? Anyway, apparently I picked up an entity. Which was affecting lots of different things. But again, it was stuff I didn't know, didn't really appreciate. And when it was lifted off, it was like, oh my God, my hair's, I wouldn't say I think I said this yesterday, which is on next week's episode, but I just confused everyone. I wasn't skeptical. I was open-minded, but there was maybe open, but if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And so when it lifted, I didn't expect.
No,
I felt something that was a bit of a load off, to be honest.
I mean, I personally, this is my personal feeling, is that it's not something you should play around with.
No,
it is something that if you learn, because the respect and the trust of everything is really important. You've got to, the respect comes first, the protection. The doing it on a routine. I always do a routine before I work. It takes me 2 minutes because I'm so used to doing it.
Yeah.
But it's all about doing that to make sure that you as a human being are protected, and everybody coming into your vicinity is as well.
Yeah.
So it's really important, if you're doing readings, that the people who are coming to you, there's always protection put around the whole building, the room, the people, always.
Oh, thanks for sharing. I think that's really important.
That
isn't
energy
it?
actually felt fantastic. I shared my experience with Matt, because obviously I came 2 years today, and the room felt so tranquil. And the surrounding, the place where it is just also very magical.
Yeah.
Really magical. So I definitely advise you guys to get there, whenever you have a chance. If Karen is free.
If Karen is free, keep me as book in. And you said she booked up. All right. Never mind. So, do you find it tiring?
Interestingly enough, I never used to find it tiring. It's only recently that I do. At the end of the day, not when I'm doing it, it's absolutely fine. But at the end of the day now, I do feel very tired. And that's not to do with anything that's different. It's to do with, and it is to do with age. Because as you get older, no matter how fit you are and how switched on you are, you find that you're using the capacity all the time of your brain as well. So because connecting definitely is done all with that level. And you're also working in an environment where you are working with people who come in that are often in a lot of pain, distress, so the whole energy all the time, you're keeping that balance. So I find now, because I'm just a little bit older, it does at night I can sit down and just fall asleep without problem downstairs normally, and then have to go to bed. So yes, it does more so now, but it never used to.
No, it's interesting. So I was going to ask another question and it's gone, but Ang's probably got it now.
Oh, have you got it, my love? Been transferred.
Questions. So I'm curious, first of all, because obviously we mentioned the Theta Healing.
Yes.
And I don't think we actually explained what Theta Healing is.
So I knew you had it in your head. That was what I wanted to ask. Right. Serious?
So could you tell us what Theta Healing really is?
Theta Healing works on the brainwaves. So it's the states, all right, that you go through. So you go through different states of consciousness. All right. Well, when you get to the theta brainwave, you're actually just above sleep. All right. So you're just above sleep state. So you are at that point where you are literally extremely relaxed, but you're just above that level. Theta Healing, the best way I can describe it is it works with the core. So it goes right down into the earth. So if you thought of a plant, when you're healing, when you're assisting with the healing, because of course all you are is the vessel, all right? So spirit source are doing the healing. So a lot of healings work on the stem of the plant, the flower of the plant, and all healings, are wonderful. They say the best way to explain it is theta works with the root as well. So it works deep down and comes up. It works on muscle spasm as well. It works with talking rather than anybody laying down with hands on. So it's a different form of healing. It works on emotional. It works on the physical. So it's quite an in-depth way of healing. But yes, it's got good results. So all healing, in my mind, is wonderful to have. But always make sure you're going to somebody that is a qualified healer.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think maybe that's one of the sometimes people may be afraid of what may happen. A little bit.
Yes.
So I think that what you said about someone that's qualified and protections.
Because
I wouldn't have anticipated that years and years ago.
No, that's quite right. I mean, healing, there's so many different types, and every single one is amazing, but some people find one type of healing works really well with them. Another person might find a totally different type of healing, and it's always good to experience different ones. But I would always say that make sure that the person has got their certificates, make sure that you know, they are a qualified healer.
I guess you got to kind of connect with them, would you say?
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely. So again, you'll be led, you know, there's some beautiful, I mean, crystal healing is beautiful. If anybody's ever had that, it's a lovely way of healing. And Reiki, of course, a good Reiki healer is wonderful. All of them, energy healing, all of it. It's very good.
So this is quite interesting. A couple of weeks ago, as one of my birthday gifts from my dear friends, I was invited to a sound healing session. And it was a combination of singing bowls and gongs. Beautiful. It was amazing. If you can feel the sound, that's probably the best way I can describe it. I felt the sound. It was going through me, and it was a physical experience. And I can completely allowed the sound to do whatever it had to do with my body. And I was giggling to myself because I was like very present in the room. I knew where I was, but I didn't have power over my body. And my body was doing funny things. So my leg, for example, just jumped. My head went twice, and I was like, it was just amazing. And I did like the combination of both. Different type of sounds, you know, different depth of the sound. It was just amazing experience.
It is wonderful. You know, I do, and as I said, you know, before, the thing is with healing as well, and again, what my personal belief is that I'm just the vessel. I'm just the person that is the vessel for the healing to come through. So, you know, in any form that you're having that done, the healing, the person who is administrating the healing, they're allowing that energy to come through. So a healing experience, whether you've got the singing bowls, whether you're having it done anyway, is absolutely beautiful. And that's how it should feel. And you should feel afterwards also that it's quite a lifting experience as well.
It was very. I felt like I was finely tuned. That's the word to describe it. It was like I was perfectly aligned.
It's beautiful.
It
is a lovely way of doing it. It is wonderful.
Do we have any more questions?
We've got some more questions.
Okay, so
Andrea, thank you so much. Engaging loads. Love it.
Okay, so that's the first question. What can Theta healing heal?
It can heal the physical, the emotional, and the psychological. So everything basically. So it can work on all different levels.
Brilliant.
Another one. What's the difference to Reiki or hypnosis?
Hypnosis is a totally different way of working from healing. Healing is literally where you're working with the energy that is coming through you. Hypnosis is where the person has learned how to hypnotize on a level of doing contact. So it's very, very different. Reiki is, you're always knowing what's happening with Reiki. You might fall asleep, but you're knowing what's happening with your body, whereas hypnosis, you don't. I believe, I've never been hypnotized, so I don't believe that you actually know what's going on then. So yes, totally different.
Okay. Well, did I press it? Okay. What professional certificates actually count? Some seem rather vague.
Yeah, professional certificates. So, and again, I only answer what I've got with the Theta Healing, is that I had to do several modules, and I haven't done, there's so many modules you can do with Theta Healing. So the course lasted the first course I did was over 4 or 5 days on a beginners, and then I did an advanced course, which was even longer than that. And it is marked by a Theta professional teacher. So they've done their certificates, the whole lot. and you can do other certificates that take you into dealing with theta, into dealing with abundance, to dealing with emotional strain. You can do specific ones, but I did the beginners and the advanced. So that was enough for me to be able to do theta healing. But some do seem rather vague. I would always look at them to make sure that they are administered by a teacher, a professional teacher, and you can look those up. Hope that helps, Andrea.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you. I kind of want to go back a bit to mediumship.
Yeah.
If that's okay. I'll probably flip between the two. That's what we normally do.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Do you have when you're doing a reading of your? I mean, is it predominantly if something bad news come through? Like, does that happen? How do you deal with it? Or
it's very, very rare.
Because imagine sometimes people might be worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With me, it's very rare.
Yeah.
I don't get bad news through. All right, because the idea of the reading is to people want to come through from the spiritual realms to talk to the people they love, but it's also about giving information to your client on how they can best go forward with their life.
Yes.
If for any reason I was being told that, just say somebody was poorly when they came in, I wouldn't be told exactly what was wrong. I would probably be told that person, I would I would be told where there's pain in that person's body. So I would actually very, very gently say to them, have you been suffering some pain? And if they said yes, I would then be told to tell them that they needed to go to a doctor. So that's on a health level, right?
Yeah.
But I've never been given anything that has been bad news. I'm not given that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that many mediums are given that. Maybe some are, I don't know. But I've never had that given to me. You see, the thing is that if you were to say to somebody that something terrible was going to happen, and bear in mind that spirit work on either side, so they could say of a month, so they could say it's going to happen in June. Let's just say, well, spirit June it means that to them it could be 6 weeks in June, it could be 8 weeks, so they go either side. So that person could be waiting for something to happen, and it might not happen, but it could happen the following June. So you don't get that, because life is not about, they don't want you to feel that you have to go through that. It is about what you can have that is on the positive for the future. Where your life can go, how you can, how you're able to access the best life for yourself.
That's how I felt after. Just to echo what you said, really, that's how I felt after. Good. Because I think you mentioned to me, I think it was February last year, because we did it over WhatsApp as well, and you mentioned to me about getting into property, and it had been on my mind. And then I did some courses later in the year, and that's, as I said to you, before we come on live. So and it was just nice for what the other things that you mentioned and the people that come through for me. It blew my mind, because it was so nice, because it was a good. I think my friend Mark was there for the whole time. I called his wife up afterwards and said to her, and she said, "Oh no, thank you for sharing that. It meant a lot to everyone." So
I'm so pleased.
Yeah, it really did. So we got loads of questions coming through now.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to pop them up? And you read it. All right. So one more question. All right. You can ask many more questions, Andrea. It doesn't have to be one more. And now I expect 10. Sorry, jokes. When I met a medium, there was never any connection to any member of my family that had died. Is there a reason for that? I don't feel unloved by my ancestors, laughing emoji, just that they don't step forward.
It could well be that maybe when you've come into the room, Andrea, or you're with a medium, that actually they haven't felt the need to come forward, not because they don't love you, but simply because they may be in a position or a place where they're quite happy. You may have other people come through to speak to you. It could be friends, people like that. Sometimes the medium might not get the connection because they're not supposed to get the connection. So there's a lot of different reasons as to why they might not come through. I would definitely try maybe a different medium and see if you get anything from there, but it's not anything against you, and it's definitely not to do with the fact that you haven't got anybody there. They will be maybe not as close as they should be. They might not have come through for the reason that they're totally at peace where they are, but it's not because of you. I think you would find probably if you went and tried another one, maybe you would get somebody through.
Good answer.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Lottie Wynn. Oh, Lottie, thank you for joining on the podcast. So I thought it was a lovely message to share. So I messaged Karen a while back for reading Theta Healing, but I've yet to be able to make time to see her. I find it fascinating. I found this podcast not knowing the guest on the subject.
Oh,
yeah, that's really nice. So that's your answer, Lottie. Book it up.
I'm taking bookings now for June, end of June.
That's a lovely message. Thank you so much. Yeah. And it won't hide, but we'll work that one out in a bit. There it goes. Contact you, and not like put it off. I think, do you find that people come when you said to me, I can't believe this is your first reading?
No, I couldn't believe it was. Some people are so very, they're so connected to the spiritual realm. So you both are very connected. And it's sometimes she's like, oh, I've never been for a reading before. But it's because you haven't needed to or wanted to. You haven't felt drawn to it maybe before. But I think that that's normally when people come. I believe that it is because they have a drawing to go and see a medium, whether it's about somebody passing or where their life's going. You know, normally they will make that decision. Sometimes some come because if they're in relationships, you sometimes get the partner saying, oh, I've been and you must come. So the partner will come, could be a bit skeptical, but it doesn't matter. And when they come in, we'll, you know, talk to them and give to them what I'm being told to give to them. So, yeah,
it is interesting. I was about 20 or so years ago, I think I said traveling around Australia with my girlfriend at the time. Unfortunately, you know, we broke up whilst we was away. It was carrying on traveling. We were young, young and in love, whatever. And then my mum came out to see me. No, mum came out to see me. When I got back, my mum said to me, I went for a reading. I don't know who it was with, and said, I was told that you were going to break up. I didn't believe it. So no, I'm not going to ask. Thank you, Lottie. She's going to try and book in soon.
Oh, bless
there you
her.
go.
Thank you.
Be quick, remember, because I'm going to be on the phone later. I got access. So. If you've got any more questions, please. These are really great questions, and
they are really good questions.
Fantastic to have you on the podcast.
Oh, thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Definitely.
Magic is in the air. That's
there you go. There you go. You must have some more questions, Angg.
I have plenty of questions, but plenty of those questions are my private questions. But I'm still curious because obviously I'm very interested in connecting on a deeper level. And for many years, I've been practicing a meditation, and then I had a little bit of break, so I kind of got back more into the physical world, and I was more in my head. Whereas now I'm going back more into my heart center and reconnecting, and which is just, it feels like the right place to be for me. So I'm thinking if there is a plan. I'm sure there are people who are just like me, curious. How can I deepen my connection? I mean, you mentioned the meditation of, to ground yourself, open up your chakras. What else could I do to improve it? Okay, so it is often a good idea actually to sit in a group. All right. So it's a good idea to sit in, well, they used to call them circle groups. Sometimes they call them development groups, because
if you're sat in a group, you are able to actually be mentored on how to open, close, protect, and you get further and further into it. You work in pairs at times, you connect with the spiritual realms. It shows you how to do it in a safe environment. I do believe very, very much that being outside is a great connector to the spiritual realms, whether it's spirit that have passed or the nature spirits. The connection can be very strong if you're meditating outside, and obviously you don't want it pouring with rain, but that connection then, if you root yourself, so if you're near a tree and you feel rooted, you'll find that the connection comes in. Color is one of the biggest beginners of spirit connecting with you. So it's colors you get when you're meditating in your head, and those will start to swirl. Often you get purples. That's very connected to spiritual realm. Then you may find that you get a feeling that somebody's there, or you might get something in your head, a picture in your head. Talk to them, but always remember to put that protection in, because you don't want every random spirit coming in. So it's, you know, to say, you know, are you there? Talk to them in here. And that connection can then be, yes, I am. You'll know, because it's a different from how you think. So it's quick. It's very fast. And then just make that connection that way. But, you know, if you sit in a group, if you want to take it further, it is often a good idea to sit in a development group, because that way you learn a lot more about it, and it's over a weekly basis or a 2 weekly basis. Sometimes meditation is the biggest thing of all. And meditation is something that is so strong to the connection side. So, and I mean, I find, you know, I'm really naughty. I don't always meditate. And the thing is with this work is, as I always say to the people I mentor, you never stop learning. So it doesn't matter how many years I've been doing it, I still learn. And you have to accept that that's going to be part of it.
I think that's exciting.
I do as well.
Because there's still something to be discovered. You know?
Right.
Always. And the other thing, you know, it's me. This is how I feel when I'm doing a group. Is I always say to all of them, you know, nobody is better than anybody else. You're all learning, and you all work at your own pace, at your own level. But it's a good idea to do that, because you then understand a lot more about how it all works, and you learn how to connect in a safe environment.
Now.
Some mistakes.
Yes,
exactly.
Exactly.
And on that note, we've got a couple more questions, and then we'll answer. Have you got some workshops again that are coming up? You sell out fast.
I do. I've just done a couple, but I'm going to be doing some more probably at the end of the summer, so September time, because, you know, once you get into the summer, people are going on holiday. That's where they're more thinking about financially, where they go, you know, what they're doing. Also with children on holiday, you know, it's very difficult for people to, you know,
September's quite a new beginning.
It is. So September, October, November, I will be doing some more workshops. I will be advertising them on Facebook. I do want to do a crystal workshop, and I am thinking of doing a workshop that is connected to, not quite sure how to word it yet, but
is it the one I wanted to go to?
I did want to call it the sensual workshop, but it's connecting to the senses. It's all about connecting to all of your senses.
So sensory.
Your sensory, yes. That's probably a better word than sensual. They might want me to put a poll up somewhere if I go sensual.
But I knew exactly what you meant when you said it. That's why I said, can I come? All right. Thank you, Andrea. So we'll put this question up in a minute, but
is it
just I'm just going to read it out. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Dear Karen, what do you tell people that are cruising towards a difficult situation but seem unable
that would enable you to be able to make a decision on how to come out of that difficult situation, or how to maneuver it or maneuver around it, by maybe working within the course you're going, or maybe changing that a little bit. So everything that's given to me is all about the person who's coming on that level. So very much they would be helping you to dissect it a little bit probably, and go in a way that would be best for you. Everything that is said, I always say it's free will. So it's your free will whether to take that advice or not, that information. But that's definitely what I would be getting the message through to say to you, to guide you. And the other thing is to always remember that situation that is so difficult, it's about what is right for you. It is not about what is right for the whole situation. So you've got to look at you first and then work forward with the situation.
Yeah.
And you would probably be able to change your course on this.
So from the inside out.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Lottie's got quite a long one. I don't know if this is on the screen, but we'll try. Thank you, Lottie. I do have one more reading. Do you offer, or would you consider an Akashic record reading? I have multiple readings. Some I have planned, others have just been given to me unprompted. I should have brought my glasses. I would love to learn more about my past lives and life between lives. However, looking into past life regression, I have been advised I can't do this due to recently being diagnosed with epilepsy.
It isn't something I would say no to, but there are people that do who are trained in doing Akashic readings. So you might be advisable to actually look at that first. Yes, I would say be very careful with regression. Don't, because of I don't think it would actually benefit you. But yeah, I would look at it. See first if you can find somebody that is trained in an Akashic reading. If you can't, then definitely, yes, I would.
But Karen, before we came on live as well, so it's worth a reading with Karen. I don't know if it's okay to say this, but you kind of tapped in a little bit to some things that we were talking about from possible past lives anyway, Lottie. So that's how gifted Karen is.
Thank you. But it definitely, sorry, didn't mean to break, but definitely I would, it's definitely not a no. Let's put it that way.
So is it a sense that Lottie obviously feels there's more?
Yeah, so, there is more.
So what she feels is true.
Is true. Yes, definitely.
Definitely. There you go. You got some answers now, but probably more questions.
Yes, probably has.
That's what my cousin had a. No, better not say. I don't think she's supposed to know. Someone I know had a reading, and so to answer questions and then open up more.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. See that we're trying to think now. And it's your turn again. I know it is.
No, I think it's great. I have so many personal questions, which I'm obviously I'm not going to ask you. Don't worry. No. But it's such a great experience for me. To see you again. I don't know if you've ever had experience like going to Medium, but for me personally, when I see you, I feel such a positive energy. Like you just don't want to be disconnected from it. You just want to take this with you because it resonates with you on such a deep level. Yes, that it's not even about the healing, or it's not even about the reading. It's the energy that you are carrying with you. Is there's something more than just usual human being. So you said you're weird, and I love your weirdness.
I am, yeah.
So whoever is planning to see Karen, you will know exactly what I mean by saying that, because it's really amazing energy. I'm just in love with your energy.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, so Lottie's going to message you, she says.
Oh, wonderful.
She said thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Lottie. And thank you, Andrea, for the questions. That helps. Means we haven't got to think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's been wonderful to have you on.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. It's been lovely.
Yeah, please come back.
I will.
Yeah.
Now I've done it once. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Won't get rid of me.
Regular slot. Yeah.
We're not planning to.
Not planning to.
Thank you.
So next week, and who have we got on? We pre-recorded it yesterday.
Yes, so we've got our friend, Claire Bodley. So she's going to be talking about past life regressions,
Cool.
about Reiki healing, and body code, emotional code. So tune in with us next week. It's going to be super, super interesting as well. If you like this kind of stuff, you will enjoy it. So that's next week.
That's next week. Yeah, as always, drop a nice 5-star review. We like those.
We do.
And share away. And if you're watching the rerun, saying just drop in some questions, and which you would have done anyway because it's at the end of the show. So I don't know what I'm saying.
Before we finish, what is the best way of connecting with you?
Now, there's quite a few ways. But I would say either on email, which is Little Bird. All right. So the email is Little Bird. Or text or Facebook Messenger. I don't very often, answering the phone is really difficult because when I'm working, I can't answer calls or texts or anything. And I'm working the majority of the day. Yeah. So what I do normally is try to get back to certain things. My daughter, bless her, really helps with all the bookings, and so she will also deal with them. So between us, we're doing it. So that's the best way to do it.
Brilliant.
All right.
What's the email, Little Bird? Do you know? Or?
Just bear with me. Because I don't know. I'm terrible.
No,
my daughter deals with all of that. Give me a second.
No worries.
So
it was a good session, Angg. Yeah,
it was amazing.
And you got one booked on Thursday, right?
Super excited about that one. And that's my third one, by the way. This is how great it is.
The email, there you go. It's Karen at Little Bird.
Right.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So over the COVID, I remember we had a session via WhatsApp.
Yes.
But do you still do WhatsApp sessions?
Yes.
Because obviously we have people from overseas tuning in, and they might be interested in connecting with you.
Yeah, I still do WhatsApp. I also do on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Now, I'm absolutely terrible with technology. So I did try to set up Zoom, which ended up being a total mishmash for me. So I may have to talk to you to set me up Zoom, and then I can do Zoom as well.
Brilliant.
All right.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week. Peace, love, always.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.